We're live on TikTok as well.
All right, bet.
Yo. What is happening, everybody? We're back. We are back. And happier than ever, folks. Your Kansas City Chiefs are headed to the Super Bowl, guys. Hey, Zach.
Yes, sir.
It's been a little bit since we've kind of been on the same podcast together, me being in the hospital, you being on vacation. But hey, we're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Exactly.
Going back to the Super Bowl. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling as good as you can possibly feel. Like, this is, especially after like the turbulence, trials and tribulations of this season, man. Like this, I feel like last year felt sweeter because of the like what happened the year prior.
Right.
But this year this is the most impressive Super Bowl appearance. Like man, and not only were we the worst we've been, but we also went against the best teams leading up to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, man.
And that's kind of what I wanted to start this episode with and this podcast with is like and I keep saying it's like the Chiefs got y'all. Like even us, they got us. Like this whole season, like this whole season, we still. Hey, I will say this: out of a lot of the Chiefs podcasters, we did, kind of have the faith, like there's some things they can turn around, and they kind of did have some of the formula we said they had to do. But let's be honest, there was times in the season where we were kind of looking at each other like, yeah, I don't think they can get it together.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes and company kind of just sat there and been like, gotcha. Like, really thought we really thought this was the worst Chiefs season. And like every week, man, people just were wrong. Even us, we were wrong. Like that's what I just feel so good is like they looked everyone in the face and they're like, you want to doubt us? Keep doubting us. And this has been the worst Chiefs team. And they still got you.
Yep.
They're still back in the Super Bowl. They're still probably should be favored in this game. This may be the best defense of the game. They got the MVP, which we're going to get into. That's what I just feel like is the biggest storyline going into this game is like, they got you.
Yeah, they got me good. They got me good. Hey, you know my friend Chris. Like some of the people on the pod know Chris just from being on it live. And Chris is the biggest homer. So he knew we were going to win all three of these games, but I win the games. And I haven't seen you because I was at the Dolphins game, and I haven't talked to you about like how crazy that was. But I'm so pessimistic. Like I'm an optimistic person in general. But when it comes to the Chiefs, especially this year, man, I was not confident, especially going into this game. Like I thought we were going to be Buffalo and Miami, but this game, man, I need to go to Kansas and put a bet on the Chiefs, though, for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
After what we've seen from Mahomes and Kelsey in the defense, there's no reason – the 49ers, who have not played their best ball since like late mid-season, should be favored over us right now. There's no shot. Our defense is better than theirs. Who would have thought that our defense would be better than the 49ers defense?
Right.
Like
it's the way we've talked about it. This Ravens defense has been historically great. Like they've been really, really good this season. But this Chiefs team, and let's talk about the Ravens offense this season, has been killing people. They torched San Francisco's defense. And San Francisco has a great defense. They have blown everybody out. And you held Lamar Jackson to a Hail Mary deep pass against a linebacker. And then a Justin Tucker 50-yard field goal.
Yep.
They absolutely locked them up.
In that game, like now thinking about it, I know that it's not apples to apples when you're comparing matchups, but when the Ravens beat the Niners just like a month ago on Christmas or whatever, they were doing it through the air. The Baltimore's leading rusher that game was Lamar with 45 yards. So their game plan was not too different from their game plan when they just played us, and they torched San Francisco. They put up 33 on the board.
Right.
They put up, how many did they have? Was it 13 or 10? Did they have 10 against us?
10. Last game?
Yeah, they had 10.
10. And then it was really, again, you had it where at the end, they were almost in a prevent. They're like, you can get this field goal. We're going to make you bleed the clock in between the 40s, like until you get into the red zone. Then that's when obviously we're going to tighten up because we want this clock to run. To be honest with you, this game was not, in my opinion, a lot of people can say, oh, you're just being a homer at this point. This game, I was on my phone during the fourth quarter. This game was kind of over. I looked to my dad and some of the people I was watching it with, and I said, this game's over. And they're like, dude, there's still a whole quarter left. I said, this game is over.
Yeah.
This game, Lamar Jackson, the damage is done. Lamar Jackson is not going to be able to drop back 20 more times this game and be successful. The way this Chiefs defense has played.
And it
George
felt like
Karlaftis, those guys, come on.
It felt like one of those games that we were just playing an inferior team. Like we were so conservative. It was like we're not even worried about them scoring. It was like when we played the Patriots last month and they had that lucky pick six that got them back in the game, but we were never worried because they're just inferior. And Baltimore is inferior to us. I don't care what the DVOA says all year, their record. Everyone has been saying on national media that they're never going to down Mahomes again, that, you know, we get that much better during the playoffs. And like they're on point with that. Like we do not bring out our offense in the regular season. We never have.
No.
The only year we did was when we started off 3-4 and we had to get hot to win our division. That's the only year that we actually brought out our offense before the postseason. And I'm looking at this box score with Baltimore and San Francisco. They gave Justice Hill 10 carries for 26 yards, Gus Edwards 9 carries for 31 yards, and Lamar had his scrambles. San Francisco put up, I already said this, but San Francisco gave up 33 with Lamar slinging it. And with Lamar slinging it, he barely had a 50% completion rating against us, completion percentage. It's going to be ugly. America's going to be mad because I know you've seen those TikToks and whatever, Chiefs against everybody. Like, I'm finally getting on my Homer stuff because, you know, this is my first, like, sports media thing, and I kind of joined at the wrong time because we started losing games as soon as I joined the TPT podcast. And so this is awesome. Yeah. This is what I signed up for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's just my thing is I've kind of had my troll moments these last couple of weeks because when are people gonna just shut their mouths? When are you going to learn? And I understand. I used to do it with the Patriots. You know, there's a difference between wanting a team to lose and then just being wrong every week. When are these people? And it's not just – this is what is crazy. You may say, oh, Jaden, you know, this are just average Joes you're talking about. This is national media. These are guys who get paid to do this, who are every week. Chiefs are going to lose. Chiefs are going to lose. Chiefs are going to lose. You had the guy, I can't remember his name. But if you all follow me on TikTok, you know I posted a video on it, is one of the guys on Colin Cowherd. He's the guy who sits across from Colin Cowherd. Don't know his name.
That dude. We don't even want to say his name. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't even get to his name uttered. He tried to say the Kansas City Chiefs are going to lose 37-16. These aren't guys trying to look for ratings, this, that, and the other. They truly believe that. And he didn't just say it once. He said it the whole entire week. He said, I believe this is going to be a 37-16 game. You had another guy, you had a headline on Fox Sports that said, is this going to be a blowout? Can the Chiefs stay in this game? What are y'all watching?
That guy across from Cowherd, he wants his own show, I feel like, because the stuff he says is outlandish.
Crazy. And this isn't where, and again, guys, this is going to be a little bit of just a rant show and just yes, us talking about what the Chiefs have done and how dominant the Chiefs have done. We're going to get obviously into more of just what transpired in the Ravens game and what the Chiefs really have to do. But again, I love that the Chiefs are the villains. I've never seen so many TikToks of people begging, please, Lamar, please beat Patrick Mahomes. I love that. I love when you guys sit there and talk about how the NFL is rigged and how the refs help Mo. I love that it makes you mad. I love that you guys are salty about it because I remember being a fan and watching the Patriots just dominate. The Kansas City Chiefs have just dominated. More likely or not, they just beat your team to go to a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl. If your team is relevant, they beat your team. If you have had a relevant team, they beat your team. So I love that everyone hates him. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of embracing this villain mentality of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, I love it. I love it too. But one thing, like they disrespect Mahomes so much when they're hating. It's crazy. It's like, okay, we need to talk about Mahomes for a second. We haven't really talked about Mahomes. And I haven't been able to talk to you about Mahomes for the last about a month.
Yeah, the playoffs, really.
Yeah, and back when we were talking about him, he wasn't playing his best football. Mm-hmm. But now this Mahomes is a different animal. He's different animal, same beast. Kobe Bryant. Different animal, same beast.
Same beast.
Like, whatever that means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Miami Dolphins game in the -7, -29 wind chill. He
Balled
went out there
out.
and he was surgical. He was
Right.
surgical. Went out against Buffalo and played one of the best games I've seen. You know what I'm saying? And then goes out against Baltimore in that first half. He was just a perfect quarterback for the most part. Like this, he is the best player of all time. He is the best player of all time.
I'm telling you this: if he goes out, and y'all can disagree, and here's the thing that, and we're this is going to be a debate that happens. So if he gets 3 titles, Zach, before 30, I'll say this: I'm not waiting. I will not have. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to wait until he's in year 15 to call him to go. I think he's the greatest quarter. Obviously, he doesn't have the accolades. He doesn't have the rings. He doesn't have the years like Brady does. He doesn't have those things. But the best player, quarterback, just pure quarterback. He's a better passer. He's more accurate. He's less interceptions, so better decision maker, more athletic than Tom Brady ever was in his first 6 seasons. That's a fact. That's a statistic. You can go back and look at all his numbers: more touchdowns, more yards, more less interceptions, all the whole shebang in his first 6 seasons. The only thing he needs is one more ring, and he surpasses everything Brady has done his first 6 years. And all he has to do is stay on pace, and he will be the GOAT.
I'm not even going to say he needs another ring because that's stupid. That's the stuff that keeps people from, appreciating greatness when they think, oh, he needs 7 rings to match Brady. Even though if you look at Brady's first 3 rings, their scoring defenses were ranked 6th, 2nd, and 1st. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is the first time Mahomes is at a top 10 scoring defense. And we already have 2. And you look at like one of Peyton Manning's rings where he was carried. You look at rings is the worst. It's a good way to calculate, legacy and
it does have its value, right?
Yeah, it has its value, but it's way overhyped. And I'm a Jordan guy. I'm not a LeBron guy,
right?
So but I still think Jordan is the GOAT because he was still the best regular season player, won the most, scored the most points, played great defense. But the 6 rings is not the argument to make for me, at least. It's better in basketball because one player can do so much more.
Than a quarterback. I agree. But Mahomes has been. What more can these people really say? And my thing is, they're going to have to do again. They have to now go to this whole GOAT thing, which again they have to do it because there's really no equal. They tried with Lamar. They tried with Joshua. Like he doesn't have that like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, like rivalry. There's like everyone he played, they're like and that's the funny thing is everyone keeps going, is this guy ever going to win a Super Bowl? Is this guy ever going to win a Super Bowl? It's like, well, Mahomes isn't going to win it every year, but it's just he's there every year. So it's like now they're starting to ask these questions. Are these quarterbacks just going to be ringless because of Mahomes?
Yeah, he has contemporaries, but he has no peers. Like,
right.
The only one, okay, no, he doesn't have any. I'm going to just stop myself because I always love to bring up Allen, even though, it's 0-3 now. So what's to bring up? Like, Allen's better than Burrow and Lamar. You can, you know what I'm saying, come at me if you want. But he has no peers. And there's no point comparing him to, like a John Elway or a Roger Staubach.
No, he's already got more playoff wins than them.
Exactly. It's like he's done that so fast that the only people you can compare it to are Joe Montana and Tom Brady.
Yep, that's it.
And he has just entered his prime years, probably. That's ridiculous.
Not even. They say 28 to 30 to 33 is like your prime years as a quarterback.
Man, I hope he follows that trend, and I hope he.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you too. I hate to cut you off, but like, is this where we're starting to see and? This is where I think people, again, they're still trying to diminish like the way this Chiefs team is like, you see a lot like this isn't the same Chiefs team. This Niners team can get them. I think they're just winning in different ways that people aren't used to. They have a really good defense. They're like, we're going to run the ball. Hey, Mahomes is like, oh, wait, it's 3rd and 15. I'll be great right here. Oh, wait, it's 3rd and 2. There you go, Pacheco. But when it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, nah, I got you, Kelsey. Let's be great right here. I think that's what it is. I think he's like, when I need to be great, I'll go be great. When I need to go be Alex Smith, I'll be Alex Smith. When I need to go be Mahomes, I'll be freaking Mahomes. I don't have to see out here and just razzle dazzle and make all these fancy plays. Boom. I'm just going to throw a little screen to Rice. I'm going to throw a little shuffle pass to Watson right here. I'm going to make the right play, get the ball to Pacheco. That's how we're going to win this. I'm fine with that. I don't need Patrick Mahomes to drop back 75 times and throw for 500 yards. We're winning in a different way, so people try to be like, oh, this isn't the same Chiefs team. No, they're just winning differently. They have the second-ranked defense in the league and then the number 12-ranked offense. So they're just holding teams and then getting to 21 points.
Yeah, and his composure in the playoffs is a different level.
It's crazy.
Not only does he not even throw picks. Early in his career, I remember his second year and his third year, he only had 5 and 6 picks both of those years, but he was throwing a lot of balls that should have been picked. In the playoffs, he just does not. The defenders get nowhere near the ball the entire game.
No turnover-worthy plays.
No turnover-worthy plays since Cincinnati or whatever. Since Cincinnati 2 years ago, not even last
2021. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Yeah. He played basically a perfect game against the Eagles. He played basically a perfect game against the Bills. He played perfect that first half, and then he went to game manager mode, and we held on last week. That's why I have no doubts next week. San Francisco, top to bottom, looks like the most talented team you could. Seems like they have the best player at 5 different positions, but it doesn't matter because we have the best quarterback. It doesn't matter.
And that's what. So this is where I'm kind of at too. As we kind of move into more of San Francisco, and we're going to really just kind of dissect San Francisco as we go along. We're kind of trying to get as many guests as we can on here, kind of as a Super Bowl preview week here, guys. But that's where I'm kind of at too with San Francisco is Brock Purdy. And again, some of this criticism he's been getting is unfair. Brock Purdy played like he just did these last 2 games to start the game. They just held Lamar Jackson to 10 points. But I'm supposed to sit here and say, a non-biased Chiefs fan, and go, yeah, it's going to be such a grueling match because we can't hold Brock Purdy, but we can hold Lamar, but not Brock Purdy. No disrespect to Brock Purdy. You ain't Lamar Jackson. You ain't the MVP. You haven't been playing like a top 10, top 15 quarterback the last 2 weeks. You start, and here's the thing: people may say, "But Jaden, Zach, look what he did in the fourth quarter. Look what he did in the third quarter. Look what he did in the third quarter, fourth quarter. What happened those first 2 quarters? You can't make those same mistakes you did versus Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo. You dig that hole, you're in the hole. Yep. There's no digging out a hole versus Kansas City. So all you San Francisco fans saying, oh, no. He cannot, listen to me. He has to have 4, not just good quarters. He better have 4 great quarters versus Kansas City.
Yep, and I don't think they're playing the second half against, if they do get out to a lead, the Chiefs, they're not playing the second half against San Francisco like they played the second half against Baltimore. Baltimore's offense is inferior to San Francisco's in almost every way.
And Lamar's dynamic. No, continue, sorry.
Well, I was going to say Lamar's dynamic, but if you look at every other piece of the offense, San Francisco is a better offense. And we are not going to take our foot off the gas pedal if we get big against San Francisco.
No.
There's no shot.
Not in the Super Bowl. No, not in the Super Bowl. And my thing is, as good as San Francisco defense has been, I know Nick Bosa had 2 sacks late in the game, last game, but 1, Detroit's offensive line is banged up, and 2, Chase Young, not Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, this defensive line for the 49ers has not showed up in the postseason.
It hasn't. It's full of names. There's only big names on that line, and they don't do anything.
It really has not showed up. So and the defense in general, you can say, oh, well, look what they did in the second half. Yes, I will agree with you. The Lions pooped the bed. I have no problem agreeing with that. But look how many points they give up. You're trying to tell me right now how many points did Detroit put up?
They put up 31.
31. You're telling me the Kansas City Chiefs put up 31 in the Super Bowl and they lose?
No shot.
Again, San Francisco fans, have you watched this? We do have some San Francisco fans that watch the podcast. You want to look me in our face and tell me the Chiefs put up 31 and lose?
No shot. And if you look at it, guys, Detroit could have easily dropped 45.
They could have if they ran the ball.
If they kicked field goals, if they didn't, and Josh Reynolds drops. Yep. You're telling me they should have even won that game.
And I hate to say it. And I was cheering for you, San Francisco. As much as a great
You were cheering for San Francisco.
I was. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I was cheering for San Francisco. And here's the thing why, man. It was mostly because of the media didn't want this Super Bowl. So I was like, you
Oh,
know
okay,
what?
I see.
I'm gonna give. I want the villain. I want the villain Super Bowl. I want what the whole country doesn't want, because the amount of people that didn't want this Super Bowl. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the way Brock Purdy's been playing, man, I want this team. I can't see Brock Purdy going out there. And I like Christian McCaffrey. I know he's got some neck and back problems going on. Christian McCaffrey's going to be a pill. Debo, it doesn't worry me as much. Brandon Ayuk does, and obviously Kittle. But Brock Purdy going out there, Charles Omenihu, George Galopis. Obviously, we need Charles Omenihu to come on. Remember, Willie Gay didn't even play the game. Willie Gay running wild out there. Mike Edwards got left that game early. I mean, they still got an interception. They still got 2 turnovers in that game, 3 turnovers in this last game. But I'm supposed to sit here and just go, yeah, I don't know how the Chiefs are going to beat. It's just they held the best offense, who, mind you, blew San Francisco out. But I'm supposed to sit here and go, yeah, I think the 49ers are going to put up 30 on the Chiefs, and it's going to be a grudge match. I'm going to be honest. I think this is, and we're going to get into it more, but right now, guys, early in the week, I think the Chiefs are looking at a game where they can go up by 10.
I think they could definitely win by 10. I mean,
I think they can win by double digits.
First, I think something we should bring up is the fact that Spags has Shanahan's number.
Number.
Last year, even before Purdy came in, like, they were still good offense with Garoppolo. Once
they were probably better.
I don't know if they were better, but they were good. That was the first game they had McCaffrey, so obviously they weren't everything wasn't totally installed.
Right.
But come on, like, Spags has San Francisco, and Spags is the greatest coach in the world. Spags,
right now, yeah, best. I think he should get coordinator of the year. I really
in the defense, yeah, exactly. In the defense that we have right now, I mean, look at all their playmakers. Okay, the reason that I'm not as worried about McCaffrey is because we went up against Derrick Henry that year that he basically beat Baltimore and New England by himself. Mm-hmm. We've went against rushing attacks like the Browns with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. We went up against Lamar Jackson. You can't win the Super Bowl just running the ball like that, especially if your defense isn't as good as it used to be. Like, if they had a defense like us and they had that Christian McCaffrey run game, maybe. But that's not how the game works anymore. You notice how all the top defenses in the league don't actually even have a good run defense? They only have a good pass defense.
Right.
The Baltimore Ravens don't have a good run defense, a good pass defense. Chiefs the same way.
49ers.
San Francisco's the same way.
They give us a lot of yards on the ground.
Because running the ball does not win you games anymore. It helps you control the game, and it helps you win once you've passed and scored touchdowns, but it doesn't win you the game anymore. And then we have Snead to guard Ayuk. Kittle's dangerous, but we got guys to throw at Kittle. And then Debo Samuel, we have the best tackling secondary in the league, and that's how you beat Debo Samuel, because he's not the nastiest route runner or catcher. He's yards after the catch. So we got guys to throw at the guys.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be exciting. Talking about this game. We're gonna try to, like I said, guys, get some people on here. We may have some former Chiefs guys, Tyler Thigpen, come on again this week, kind of go over the Super Bowl. Some other Chiefs guys to come on. And just some other people that like talking Chiefs from some other podcasts. Because, guys, one thing I want to say before we kind of wrap it up, like, soak this in. You, like Patrick Mahomes said, like, you can't take these for granted. Obviously, you got to move on to the next. But, like, let's not forget what it was like being a Chiefs fan like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, to what we have right now. What this feeling has been when the whole world hates you, when the whole world rooted against you, said you're not going to beat the Ravens. You can't beat the Ravens. They got the MVP. They're number one defense, the number one offense. But they forgot one thing. You had Patrick LeVon Mahomes II, and they got it done. So soak this in, guys. Zach, any last words for the Chiefs fan as we go into Super Bowl week, baby?
Hey, we got plot armor. So on top of just us being a better team, we have plot armor and we have Taylor Swift armor. So we're chilling. We're chilling. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes, sir. Guys, it's an exciting time to be a Chiefs fan. Back-to-back Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowls in 5 years. You can't ask for anything better than that. Guys, we're going to get out of here. Make sure you guys, of course, again, follow us on all social media. comment below. We will see you guys next time on the TPT podcast.